Okay, everybody, so I'm finally back to do a vacuum cleaner versus video, and I just thought to myself a couple days ago, this would be a good comparison to do a review on for anybody who's in the market to buy a 100% full-purpose bagged upright that they don't have to buy a separate tool cleaner, even though you may find in the video I may suggest that one of these has a separate machine for tool cleaning depending on how much you have to do. So we're going to first start with the Kenmore Elite. That's what this machine is right here. It was made by Panasonic, I believe, because it does have the direct drive system, which is not a Kenmore design, but I don't even know the last time Kenmore really made anything on their own. So this machine I got, not that it really matters, but I got it for free through Sears because my Kenmore Intuition, which was the predecessor to this, I think I said that right. I think so. I had it before this, and it was also out before this machine, was a direct drive machine, and it had an issue here on the side of the vacuum. The machine I had before this wand had to be into the base of the vacuum in order for it to vacuum carpets, because the hose attached here, all the dirt came through here. With this one, it's not. The hose goes right in. So, this won't wear out as fast, or maybe not at all. This part, there's that silver pin there, that came undone, so the hose would never stay on the wand anymore. But I got it for free. But when I picked it up, it was a $370, $400 vacuum. So it's in the same price range as the Miele Twist. Now, these also go on sale, whereas that very rarely, if ever, goes on sale. It's a beltless system. It also has a height adjustment, dirt sensor, and there are 5 height adjustments. You have a belt reset right there on the base of the vacuum. You have a nicely sealed inside vacuum door compartment. This vacuum's about, I'd say probably 3 or 4 years old. It's one of the oldest that I have, and you can see in here there's no dust buildup anywhere because I've always used cloth bags. So there's no dust buildup. There's also a texture. These lines in here keep the bag from sticking to the side, so air can flow around the bag. Very nice bag. Does have a sealed door here, and it's very easy to reattach, and you can't put the bag door on without a bag in place. It won't close. You can see it's got a nice Kenmore Elite logo on there. You have dual LED headlights mounted right here on the very front of the vacuum. Shines almost just above the carpet, so it shines underneath even couches. You have a check bag light. It's not a piston or air whatever that is on the Miele, so it's a little bit more visible if you're not really looking there. And it's mounted a little higher too on the vacuum. Nice comfortable handle. You have an upper cord release, so you can't really easily take off as much as you want quickly and then turn it back up. It'll pretty much all fall off at the same time. But otherwise, it's made very nicely. There isn't a lot of play in it, but it's very easy to undo when you want to. You have a built-on or onboard turbo tool for pet messes. It works very well. One of the best turbo brushes I've ever used, even through having one of these for several years. There's really no loss of performance in the way that the brush spins. Nice big lower cord hook that doubles as a carry handle. You have a very nice crevice tool. It's probably twice, maybe 3-4 times as long as most vacuums, and it also has an indentation there that helps you clean on even fabric surfaces or in areas without reducing the airflow, so it can clean much better than something with just a flat crevice tool end. Or some of them have like a curved end, so it can still get some air in there. It does have a telescopic wand. It has a dusting brush upholstery tool. It just slides off on the one side, this side here. so you can slide that off. You don't have to use it that way. But the dusting brush side is kind of useless. It also has a blow-off valve here, so if it gets a clog or something, it's not going to continue to run and burn up the motor if you can't, I guess, turn it off fast, which makes no sense, but whatever. It has a sealed HEPA filter. This is the same HEPA filter I've had on it. This is mostly motor carbon on the inside, but even if I take my finger on this, you can see there is a little bit, but this is black, and it's motor carbon, or whatever, carbon dust. You can see the line there that I left. So, but it's a big honky HEPA filter, and when you push it back on, it takes a little bit of force. So it is sealed on very well. You have a pedal release back here. If you press it, the vacuum doesn't come directly backwards. You have to actually pull it, and even it's still locked into place. I pulled the brush off. It's still locked into place. If I press this button, unless somebody's pulling on it at the same time, it's not going to fall backwards, which is good if you have kids that are curious. The underside, that does have rubber wheels. It has a nice bumper on the vacuum too. Rubber wheels. This part's plastic, but this, where it actually rides on the floor, is rubber. It has very nice stiff bristles. They stick out very far. It's a big, brush roll on the vacuum too. You can see there's no belt line anywhere. It has, so that means it's going to clean a lot more. It's not going to leave stuff unswept, I guess. So, it does a very good job with cleaning everything that it runs over. You don't have to really overlap passes. And it's got these big, chunky inlets for large particles too, and to keep the airflow rolling through it. It also has a clean out port down here. If something ever got stuck or you ran something over, you can always check that and make sure that it's free of debris. But otherwise, it's a very solid vacuum, and I like it. So, again, the reason I'm doing this review is because these are one of the very few bagged uprights available to purchase. This one being one that you can actually walk into a store today. Nobody's really going to come up to you. I mean, Sears does have some people who will sell and help in the vacuum section, but very easy to pick up. You can buy an extended warranty for it. Otherwise, I think it comes with like a 3-year warranty or something like that. It may have a longer one. It may only be a 1-year, but it's a very well-made vacuum. And it has that dirt sensor, which can be a joke on some machines, but it only turns on when it senses dirt. Then there's the Miele. This is one of several. This is the entry level. It does not have a headlight. So I'm going to say, you know, that's a downfall because both of these machines are in the same price category. When you move up to the next model, which is the Salsa, you're already paying like $460, and it's also a dealer exclusive model. So if you were to buy this on Amazon, you wouldn't be able to find the Salsa. So your next model up would be the Jazz, which is already like a $540 vacuum. It's like $540, $539. It could be $559 or $69, something like that. So you're already paying twice as much that you can get one of these Kenmores for. I think you can get one of these for like $250 now. And there's a less expensive model, but it doesn't have the beltless system. Now, the nice part about the Miele, though, is you do have that swivel steering. Does that mean it's going to clean any better? No. Doesn't mean anything about cleaning performance. It may mean that you clean more because it's easier for you to turn around a piece of furniture that nobody looks at, whereas this one, you may be like, you know, I'm not, you know, doing the lawnmower sort of thing to be able to get around something that nobody's going to see. And believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there who don't vacuum their entire carpet. They only vacuum the visible areas, which is so stupid. If you're only going to do that, then don't even own a vacuum. The Miele's door is built onto the machine, so you can't lose it. It's very unlikely that it'll break if you set it off to the side, because you can't set it off to the side. It is also a sealed bag door. You can see the inside of this is pristine and clean. There's no dust collecting anywhere. It has a bag indicator, but again, it's one of those piston models. And it has a top fill bag, so it's going to be able to hold a little bit more dirt, and it will actually maximize your investment on these bags compared to the Kenmore. However, the Kenmore's bags you can go and pick up at Kmart. You can buy the cloth bags right there. And they're a lot cheaper. I think you can pick up a cloth set of bags for the Kenmore, like a 4-pack, maybe even only a 3-pack for like $6 or $7, whereas these Miele bags come in 4 packs, I believe, and you pay like $20. But you also get the filters that come with it too, the air clean filters, but they're almost pretty much nothing. They're not even HEPA filter quality anyway, and that is not something that is easy to find, and those HEPA filters are like $50, $60 a piece. The Kenmore ones, I think they're no more than 20 bucks, if that. I've never bought one, so there's my answer to that one. And even just looking at the hardware that they use on this, definitely not something that you want to touch. I'm sure you can do it at home, but it's not a machine that I would recommend. Oops, sorry, I'm not trying to screw with that. Not a machine I would recommend trying to take apart yourself. So that's that. And the door is a little bit more finicky. You can see it has a lot of play in it, and as you push it upwards, it gets kind of hung up and you have to jiggle it, and sometimes it doesn't like to close all the way. And I've heard complaints of people saying that the bag door tends to, or the bag tends to fall down. Sometimes you have to hold it up while you try and close the door on the vacuum, because the door is actually what pushes the bag collar all the way up onto the intake. So the one thing about this though is you have adjustable suction or variable suction, so you can use it on all different types of surfaces. It makes it the ultimate combination canister and upright if you really want to make this your only machine that you own. The Kenmore's hose is super, super, super short. It is only like 2.5 feet long, not stretched out, but as you stretch it out, you have to twist the hose. When you turn it on, I mean, this is as long as the hose is stretched out. It's about 4 or 5 feet long. When you turn the machine on, this is what it does. It just sucks itself right in. Plus, because the way that it stretches out, you have to twist it at the same time. It's constantly fighting in your hand. So it's almost impossible to use it, which is why I say with this machine, you pretty much have to own a separate canister in order for, and really like to use this as an upright to keep it in your house. It's also kind of finicky too with the way that the cord is mounted on the vacuum. If you have the cord out like this, and then you have your hose in place, it pushes the cord at a weird angle that could possibly cause this to wear out very fast. So you really have to make sure that you put this on correctly, put the hose under the cord, then reattach it, because otherwise it's just going to create problems later on. And you can see it still kind of pushes against it, but this is the way I always leave it. So it's shooting right out the back of the vacuum. And when you wrap it, it's not getting all wonky and stuff. I usually start this way, so it's not getting ruined. The Miele doesn't have that problem. Very easy. The wand's already attached to it when you pull the attachments out. There we go. I don't use this very often, especially the hose part. And you can see at the bottom, it has a little neck here that you can push down, and you can actually lock it into place too. So if you push it down all the way, it will make it so the vacuum doesn't tip over. And the hose is super stretchy. It does not twist to be able to stretch out. And everything's already attached. It's got a really nice comfortable handle, which can be a plus. That doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy to use when you're vacuuming out your car and you're trying to get under a seat and this handle is so clunky and hard to use in tighter areas. Sometimes you just want the end of a hose to hold on to, and the handle is too much to be able to get into tight spots. And I've heard people complain about the hoses stretching out and not going back to its original shape. So I try and use it as little as possible. So that may be something to keep in mind. Both of these machines have fingertip controls. Sorry for straying away from the Miele side of the review, but I just wanted to mention that. They're both fingertip controls. The Miele has dual switches, one for the motor on the brush roll and one for the suction. The Kenmore is a 2-in-1 switch. It's a 2-position, so carpet is all the way down and bare floor only is just the first click down. Both obviously have replaceable HEPA filters. The tools on the Miele are nice. The upholstery tool is nice. Your crevice tool is a little shorter than the Kenmore's. You can see the Kenmore has a much longer tool by like about 2 to 3 inches. And it has a chisel tip, but it kind of flattens here at the top. So when you're vacuuming on a surface, it still leaves some air to be able to come through the vacuum. So that's a nice part that they did for that tool. The dusting brush, it has one, but it's very small and not very easy to use. And there's no onboard turbo tool. You can buy it separately. It's about 60 bucks, 70 bucks, but it doesn't store on board. It does have a rear carry handle, much bigger, much nicer than the Kenmore's, and it is not your cord hook. Your cord hook's up here, and it's a lower mounted one, so, or a lower mounted cord release too. So if you want to release just a little bit of cord, you can do that without it all falling off. The pedals on these, I've heard that the Miele, through my dealer, when you press the pedal, you can feel it drop down on the vacuum. It kind of plops down in the back onto the floor. And it releases the swivel neck portion from its locked position, and it releases the reclining part. So at my dealer, he told me to swivel it all the way to one side or the other, push it all the way up into the upright position, and then twist it like that. So he said for some reason it's just easier rather than it just trying to lock everything into place being pushed straight up. It's less wear and tear on the machine. As to whether that's true or not, I don't really know. This is how you do the Kenmore. Okay, you press it, you pull back, it's reclined. Now it's locked into place. Simple. I don't think that you're going to have problems with that. Both of them are plastic. That's just a rubber piece for extra traction. And the Kenmore just has these ridges. So neither of these are hard to do. I've had some machines that are almost impossible to recline. And at least they lock. So the next thing about the Miele is the underneath, you do have a brush roll, a belt piece right here. Sorry if it's hard to see. It is a metal base plate, but that really doesn't mean anything about your cleaning. You do have a brush roll notch there that will leave spots or lines in your carpet, and it may not clean the best, but it is recessed so air can still circulate underneath it. So you're not losing as much as other vacuums, and this is actually very common to see on most vacuums anyway. So at least they did something to that to make you like the vacuum a little bit more. This is also a guard for the cord so you don't suck it up, but you can see it splits the bristles on that one brush. So I don't really care for that. Even on my Oryx, I don't like that. But there is a line here, so you can easily run across with a pair of scissors and cut that. Again, not something that you can really take apart yourself. It does have rubber caster wheels, and it has rubber rear wheels that recline up inside the machine. It's got a belt, but it's apparently lifetime, so you're never supposed to be able to replace it. And the reason why I say that is because you're really not supposed to replace it yourself. It is replaceable, but under warranty, and you will have to pay for it if it's out of warranty. So I put something down here. I have a little bit of oatmeal, some lines, and everybody's so gaga over this under the carpet test. These are both clean air bagged uprights. They're both full size, pretty much comparable to each other. And I put that under there, and it is powdered sugar. So we will see what they can pick up. Just keep in mind how much is underneath there and what it looks like. They're a little compacted down because I put it underneath there, but I figured powdered sugar is much more fine than flour, I think, and it's a little lighter weight, so I think we'll be able to pull up a little more than if it were flour because it's so heavy. And we'll start with the Kenmore first. It's on its lowest setting. It does not have the automatic height adjustment, which I found doesn't mean anything. So the lights stay on, upright or reclined. So the brush roll on this vacuum is a little bit more torquey. It's slower spinning, but you can really feel it dig into the carpet. So because it spins so slow, or not really slow, but slower, that's those big air vents really working. So because it spins so slow, it doesn't vibrate off the top of the carpet and not dig in. So we're going to check to make sure that we're going to run over this head on. So it's right here. And we're going to see how well it'll do. We'll go over it 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Holy Toledo. It picked up all up. Wow. That's impressive. That is not, that's like oatmeal from one of my previous tests. But it picked everything up. It pulled it all up from the underneath the carpet. I've never done that test before. That is impressive. So we're going to see what the Miele can do. Okay. It is on smooth, so it's the highest suction, or airflow, or whatever you want to call it. It's picking everything up in one pass, doing a really good job. So we'll come up to this. Not really pulling anything in, but that's because it doesn't have air inlets. So we're going to see where the flour, okay, so there's the powdered sugar right here. So we're going to go over it 5 times, and we're going to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my God, my Miele. Oh, gonna have to get it fixed probably. No. So let's see. So, not very impressive. It didn't pull it up. It's kind of sad. It did not pull that up. So we'll give it another go. We'll try another 5 passes. So it's right here. Yep, right here. So we'll give it another 5 passes. Oh, my back door came open and it fell backwards. So we'll just keep going over this. And it didn't. It still really didn't pick it up. So let's see what the Kenmore can do over here. A little bit better. I think some of this must just be. So we'll push this up a little bit. See if the Miele can pick that up. So we'll do 3 passes, see what it did. Still under the carpet, and I feel like the Miele just might be not, it might just be pushing it like and flattening it. So we'll push this and we'll loosen it just like we did for the Miele. See if the Kenmore can pick it up. So it's right there. So right about here. And it's gone. Except for what was pushed down into the grain of the wood. And I can't even get that up with my fingers. So I'm going to say that the Kenmore is the better deep cleaner here. Sorry, you guys, but I know some of you are going to be disappointed about that. Or somebody's going to say, oh, you didn't do a very good video, blah, 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 blah. The Kenmore is the winner. However, when it comes to the tools and the real versatility, the Miele is the winner. So for overall carpet cleaning, definitely go with the Kenmore. It's easier for you to find. It's easy to replace the bags. The bag in the Miele is new. You look at this bag, it's completely empty. I just changed this bag. There's nothing in it. It's flat as flat can be. Okay? So, ouch. I just hit myself in the head with the vacuum. The Kenmore, the bag, it has some stuff in it. You can see. I'll even take it off the bag back. Maybe. You can see there is some stuff in this bag. Lots of stuff. So, sorry, I guess China wins. But please leave a comment, like, and subscribe. And you can see I use the Ultra Care vac bags for Kenmore and Miele Z. But thank you for watching. Hopefully it wasn't the video that, or people didn't think the video was too long. But I still love my Miele. Still has a place in my house.